Well, good morning and welcome back to Log Cabin Firewood. So my name is Jack, and today we found some totes for free. Let's see what I'm gonna do to them to make them usable for firewood for me. So hello everybody, my name is Jack and this is Log Cabin Firewood. And today I found some totes. I guess it was 2 weeks ago, I put a in search of post out on Facebook just to my friends and my followers. And I had a lot of people reach out and give me a lot of good listings on Marketplace where these things were anywhere from $15 a piece to $80 a piece. I'm not paying money for these things. There is zero money in firewood. I'll say that again. There is zero money in firewood. Yeah, so to make any profit at all, you really need to find things on the real cheap or free, which is real cheap for me. So I borrowed my neighbor's 20-some foot deck over trailer and we went and picked some of these up. I didn't record anything where I got these from, and I can't tell you where I got them from because it's I just can't tell you where I got them from. We were supposed to have picked up 20. There were, I think we got 13, and there were another 8 on site, but they weren't cleaned out yet. They still were half full, and we loaded these by hand. We didn't have access to a forklift or anything. Essentially, we should be able to get at least 20 a month. I think it's 3 of these, if you stack it up, equals a third of a cord. It might be a little less than a third of a cord. I don't know. I need to experiment on that and actually see what it is. I'll stack some wood up and then see what I can get in one of these. I know Jake from Dude Ranch DIY, Jenin from 765 Guys, Mike from K&L. Everybody uses these totes. Bert from Bert's Custom Cuts, he just put a video out like 2 days ago, I think, from the time I'm recording this, where he uses a bunch of these for his boiler wood. Essentially, that's what I'm going to use these for. Yes, I'm going to start storing some smoker wood in these for now since I have a bunch of cherry, and I did just get the axis. I need to make a video on that. You'll probably see it next week. So this is my birthday weekend. I'm going to be 42 tomorrow. Friday, I went and picked my axis up. Saturday, I picked these up, and it is now Sunday morning. I'm gonna start processing these to make them usable for me. Essentially, what I'm going to be doing is exactly what Jake and Chris do up at Dude Ranch DIY. I'm going to cut one side of these open so I can access it, and then I'm gonna cut a piece off the bladder for a lid. Where I'm going to be storing has a lot of leaves, and leaves keep your wood wet. So we're going to, make a lid and try and make these work for us. So let's quit yapping and get to it. It's super simple to take these apart. It is a pretty big Torx bit. It's a T40, so you're gonna have to have one of them. I know some of them might be like hex bolts too. I need to get a bucket for some of this hardware. Now I just got to repeat that 10 more times. So my buddy Larry reached out to me and actually hooked me up with these. He has a farm and he uses these to move water around and stuff and materials and everything around for his farm. And he reached out and said, hey man, I got some of these. And he didn't want anything in return. He just said, if you could use them, I could use them. We did get, we had 13 of these to begin with, and he took 2, which, hey, I told him I'd split the load with him. You're hooking me up. But I had a family friend show up that I hadn't seen in 3 years, ironically, when I pulled in the driveway yesterday. So I wasn't able to get Larry and his wife on camera, but they actually helped me load these up, and his wife was working harder than him. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Larry. She did more lifting than you, bud. I should probably go get the tractor for this, but we'll figure it out. Ooh, this one's gonna be hard because it's all mangled. This one here is a little mangled, so I'm having a little trouble getting the bladder out. But it's nothing the old BFH can't fix. I guess it is 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Maybe I'll wait on this one. When in doubt, pry it out. So I'm talking about bringing out the big guns. And as far as this one being mangled a little bit, I'll probably just bend it over with the tractor and try and smoosh it back down with the bucket. Yeah, I said smoosh. That's the new word of the day, smoosh. Five down, 6 to go. May as well fill the boiler up. Haven't checked it tonight. It was just running. The temp is at 186, and you know, it turns on at 165 and then shuts off at 185, so it got a little hot. Bypass up. We'll let the smokestack vent for at least 15 seconds before we open the door. That's one of the advantages of the 60 models on these new Classic Edge. They came out with the 350s, 750s, and 950s years ago, but they didn't have the bypass. This is an added feature that just helps you not have that big explosion when you open the door. But it did get a little cold last night, so I just want to make sure I still got a good fuel load in here. It got down to 20 degrees. Let the smoke clear. And we didn't do too bad. I didn't really anticipate it getting super cold last night, so it didn't really fill this thing up. But this is what you want when you load these. You want a few pieces of charred wood left, because that helps whatever you throw in here get going again. So I'll stir this up, load it up, and come back. So that right there is me just, raking around all the ash, pushing it to the bottom, and you kind of see the charge tube in the center. I cleared it off a little bit. You push all the ash down into the reaction chamber, and that's where you clean it. But you can see where it's getting hot in the center. That's supercharged air getting blown out of that charge tube. You can see the primary and the secondary charge tubes in here, and they kind of just blows air around in there and keeps this thing hot. But let's get her loaded up. Oh no, not cherry in the boiler. Here we go. Here's some unsplit rounds, guys. Well, there you go. That'll probably get me till tomorrow morning. of people that have been here for a while, and you can kind of see in the background the neighbor is making a lot of progress with their house. He's saying by the end of March they should be in. I wish him the best at that. It's probably going to be like the end of April or May, but we'll see. It'll be nice to have some humans next door again. So now that we've got all 11 of these separated from their bladder system, we are going to cut the notch in the front of these so that we have an opening to stack firewood. Now there's several different ways to cut steel. You can use a sawzall, you can use a grinder, you can use a portaband, you can use a circular saw if you have a metal abrasive wheel on it. The first thing I found is my grinder, because I don't know where my sawzall is, so we're going to use the grinder and a cutting wheel. Now, as always, when you're using things that make loud noises, you should use some sort of hearing protection. And anything that has sparks or dust, you should use some glasses. So, safety is not always my #1 priority, but it should be for you. Well, we got all 11 totes cleaned up. I still gotta, throw some of the scrap metal away. And we still have to go through and make lids out of these totes. And what I'm thinking here is I can take these from their side and I can get 2 lids out of one. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. I think these are like the same size on the sides. We'll have to experiment with one and see how it works out. I'm not too familiar with these things. But we will get these loaded up on the trailer and get them next door and go from there. So now we're going to go through and make a few lids, and you can see I have scribed a mark around these. So what I did was I laid these on their side and I used my tape measure off of the blacktop and just measured up 7 inches. I don't think I need to go much bigger than 7 inches. And I tried to go back and watch some of Dude Ranch DIY stuff where they make the lids. I really couldn't find much, and I really didn't do much searching because they have like a ton of videos. But I think this will be sufficient. I'm going to use a circular saw. Again, use your proper hearing protection and your proper eyewear. Other than that, hold on to the saw and have fun. Well, we got a couple lids made for the 11 cages that I have. I still have these over here, which is going to end up giving me 22 lids. I thought about just only cutting the 6 and then putting a couple of these on Marketplace. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these up, and next time I get totes, I don't have to cut those up. I can put all of the bladders on Marketplace and see if anybody wants them for free. And if they don't want them for free, or I don't have any takers or whatever, I know Brad had a guy that was taking these, using them for something, irrigation or something around his property. If not, I'll just cut them up and recycle them. It's easy enough to zip through these a few times with the circular saw. You saw how easy it was for me to zip through this stuff just to make the lids. But yeah, I'm gonna get these next door and we'll see what we can get into over the next couple days. You guys take it easy. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of each other.